Room's packed, I love it. I love coming to these things. I've been a meeting junkie since day one, and that's probably led to most of my success coming into these meetings. And I know when I leave here tonight, my business is going to get even bigger than it is. First, I want to say I'm humbled to be in front of guys like this, all my teachers and my mentors, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you all, because it's because of you that I'm here. Everybody's mentioning books, and I just started reading a book about 2 days ago, and I found out this topic in the car on the way down here. I'm talking about ownership, so I think this story that I read in a book by Jack Canfield, it's called The Success Principles. First chapter, there's a story in there that just resonated with me, and I just read it 2 days ago, and I'm hoping to remember this because I don't have the greatest memory. The story goes like this. A man's walking down the street one night, and he happens upon another man who's on his hands and knees, apparently looking for something under a street lamp. So he approaches the man and he says, "Sir, what is it you're looking for?" And the man replies, "I'm looking for my key." So the passerby gets on his hands and knees, and for over an hour, they search for the key, and he can't find it. So he looks at the man and he says, "We're looking for over an hour. You sure you lost your key here? We can't find it anywhere." And the man replies, "Oh no, I lost it in my house, but the light is much better out here under the street lamp." And what the moral of that story is, don't look outside yourself for excuses or reasons why you aren't where you are in your life. You need to own it. Got it? Boom. Okay. I did the story justice. All right. I'm going to tell you my story. And for those of you who heard it before, I'm sorry. For those of you who haven't, first off, who in the room here has been in the business less than 3 months? Raise your hand. Okay. Now, the story I'm going to tell you is I worked in corporate America. My story is much like Frank's. I worked in corporate America. I was there for 18 years, got to senior management in the largest company of its kind in the world, Fortune 500 company, had a great job, expense account, limos, traveled all over the place. Thought my life was all set. 2 years before retirement, I stayed home with a bum tooth, and I got a call from the VP who said, "Don't come in tomorrow." Yeah, just like Frank, don't come in. 2 houses, 3 kids, you name it, mortgages, the whole thing. I'm a typical Italian, old school. I saved half of everything I ever made. So it took me 18 years to save. I couldn't get another job, much like Frank. 2 years, could not find a job, so I lived off my savings. And about this time, what happens? The real estate market crashes, the economy starts to dive, and everything I had saved was just about gone. And I finally resorted to the point of putting my house on the market. And the guy sold my house very quick. I didn't pay much attention. I just signed the contract, just sell the damn thing. We'll start over. And I said, "What was your commission?" And he said, $17,000. I said, "Kill the deal, the aha moment, I'm gonna be a realtor." That's what I did. And I did it my way, okay? This is the point I'm trying to get across. I did it my way. I didn't know how to get to the mall. I commuted to Manhattan every day, and if you asked me how to get to the mall, I didn't know. I wasn't even living in that town long enough. So I didn't know what school, I didn't know the difference between a Colonial and a Cape Cod, or a ranch. I didn't know anything about the business. I became the #1 lister in my first 3 months in the county. And how I did that? And I knocked on doors every single day. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, and I just knocked on doors, but I knocked on doors when they were home eating dinner. Not when they're not home like a coward. I would wait, look in the window, and knock on the door. That's what I did every day. So if you think I'm shy, I'm not shy. You can probably tell I'm not shy. But that's called, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So I did this, and I'm doing it my way. I put billboards up all on the major roads with my face. Made me look like I was 7 feet tall. I loved it. And I'm a successful realtor. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, all right? But I whacked up my credit card, my phone's ringing off the hook. Next thing you know, I'm making $200,000 a year. Yeah, boom. Now, with this comes the pressure of having a better year the next year. You do 5 million, do 6 million, do 10 million, do 15 million. And the manager says, "Come on, you can do it, you can do it." So I'm working 80 hours a week plus. And then I get a call from a guy who I just sold his house, sold him another house, and sold his son-in-law's house. His name's Charlie O'Donnell. Thank you, Charlie. I don't know if you're here. He's 82 years old. And he's a retired attorney, and he says, I want you to watch this video. Okay, child, I watched the video. I didn't watch the video. Next day he calls up, Anthony, I want you to watch the video. I didn't watch the video. The next day he calls up, he says, stay on the phone with me, you just made $40,000 off me, you're watching the video right now. I went, okay, I watched the video. So I watched the video, and I said, now what? And he says, what'd you think? I said, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I was kind of half paying attention. It kind of made sense, but I really was just doing this because I was guilted into it. And this is the God's honest truth. He says, I want you to meet this guy, Jim Kenny. All right? Never met him before, didn't know who he was, but you know what? I trusted this guy, so he endorsed him. I went and met with him. He did a PowerPoint presentation with me, and I was like, yeah, I got a notepad full of questions. We got through the PowerPoint presentation, which he did on his Mac, and when we were done, he answered every one of my questions, every one of them. And I realized, wow, there's something here. I could do this. I never heard about this, and I talked to everybody. Nobody ever mentioned this to me before. So I feel now I have the biggest secret in the world in my pocket. That's how I felt. Jim pretty much grabbed me by the collar, stop, you're gonna go vomit on people. Stop, don't do it. And he knew, I told him my story, that I'm used to doing things my way, like I did in real estate. And he said, listen carefully. If you want to be successful at this, we have a system. And you could have everything I've gotten from this business if you listen to me. Let me train you, let me coach you. That's hard for somebody with my personality. You like that? Yeah, that's me. So I listened. It's hard for me to do. And there were times I fought him, don't get me wrong, but I listened to him. And shortly thereafter, I saw that I wanted to meet a man that I kept seeing in the video. And that's this guy over here, Frank. So I said to Jim, I want to meet Frank. He says, okay. So he's going to set this up. In the meantime, I get a call on a Friday night. I'm in the business 6 weeks. I have maybe an EA or a consultant. I don't have much going on, but I'm excited. I got a couple associates. I got customers, you know. Jim says there's a super regional in New Jersey, in Hackensack. Never been to Hackensack. A year and a half ago, this is the room. Not literally here, but in Hackensack. There were 500 people in the room, and I'm you. People I asked you to raise your hand, I'm you, watching this. Got it? Okay, stay with me. Stay with me. I can't see it there. Look at all this. This is you. Stay with me. I can't find the page. There it is. I got it. So Jim tells me, I want you to write down your customers, okay? In March 2012, so anyway, I go to this, I'm gonna get ahead of myself, I wanted to find it. So I go to this thing that you're in right now, and I leave here like somebody just injected me with rocket fuel and adrenaline. I couldn't wait to get back to New York. And I'm watching Big John, and I'm watching Frank, and I'm watching these stories, and I'm going, what's different about them than me? Nothing. They put their pants on the same way I do. I can do this. So I literally closed my eyes and I said, I'm going to do it. And I committed to myself right then that I was going to do it. December 2012, 6 weeks in the business. Jim now tells me in March, when I hit director after 5.5 months, I want you to start writing down every day how many customers you have. And I have them all here, every single day. I'm going to ask you to hold this in a second. March, remember this, March 21st, 2012, 345 customers. Thank you. He's such a great coach. Today, 10,866. A lot of people say, just like I said to Frank, you know, I finally got that meeting with Frank. And the first thing I said to him, I can say it all the time, I felt like I was meeting a movie star. I said, Frank, what's the secret? How you do this? And he said to me, matter of fact, How many, how often you showing the plan? You heard that earlier, showing the plan, showing the video, showing the PowerPoint. How often are you doing it? I said, I don't know, 3, 4 times a day. He said, a day? And I said, yeah. He goes, that's it. And I went, what? That's it? That's all I have to do is keep showing the plan? And he goes, yeah. I said, okay, I could do that. I could keep showing the plan. So meantime, I'm going to all the meetings, all these guys' meetings, and I'm watching them, and I'm watching. And I'm training myself to do this PowerPoint presentation, and I realized, you know what? When I went to Frank and Joe's meeting, they didn't do the PowerPoint presentation, they pushed the play button. So I started pushing the play button. I'm talking, of course, and I'm getting people excited, and I'm building momentum and so on, but that's a tool. That's part of the system. I didn't create it. They made it. I just pushed play. Can you push play? Okay. The one thing you're going to notice about everybody sitting here in the front row is they all wanted it bad. Real bad. And they were committed to it. I mean really committed to it. I mean like married committed to it. You want it bad? Yeah. What? Yeah. Good. Now go get it. So that's what I'm doing. Now, the other thing I've done is I've taught people to do the same thing that I'm doing. And it's created over 20 directors, frontline partners, EDs, all these ranks are popping, they're doing, guess what? The exact same thing I'm doing. But we're not just waiting for Wednesday nights when we have our meetings. We're showing it in living rooms, we're showing it in family rooms, Dunkin' Donuts, diners, we're showing it to everybody. You know, recently the guy was mowing my lawn, and I'm in my office. I had 9 windows in my office at home because I did quit my job. Boom. So I stay home all day with my golden retrievers, and I'm looking out the window, and the guy's zooming around the lawn, mowing my lawn. And I realize that's an entrepreneur. I'm in my boxers, I know TMI, put some shorts on, I run out the door, I'm like, come in here, I gotta show you something. Why not? Show it to everybody. All right? Show the plan, duplicate. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. And it's gonna come. Don't quit. Like Frank said, the only way to fail is to quit. But you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that you can push play. All right? Your job is a lot harder than this, trust me. All right? Last thing I want to show you. I'm going to get a little choked up with this one. That's my deposit slip on my new Audi. Boom. Hey,